Okay. Well, as the Tynecastle transformation continues, the home of Scottish rugby, BT Murrayfield becomes the home of Hearts for the time being. Craig Levein also making his return to the Hearts dugout for the visit of top-of-the-table Aberdeen.
Craig Levein hands debuts to goalkeeper John McLaughlin and midfielder Ross Callaghan as he looks to make an immediate impact. Kyle Lafferty, though, is left on the bench, with Aaron Hughes part of a three-man defensive unit. An Aberdeen win would put them top of the league again, and former Rangers loanee Dominic Ball starts, having arrived from Rotherham for the season. Rooney got the winner at Partick Thistle last time out and starts. The home of Scottish rugby is the home of Hearts for this mini series of matches. They'll play St Johnstone and Rangers here as well. And here come Aberdeen early on in the piece. Stevie May, Rooney goes after it, Rooney goes down and appeals for a penalty, which is falling on deaf ears. Well, Craig Thompson's the referee. May lifted it in. Berra certainly had a hold of Rooney. There's Callaghan, who's just arrived from Raith Rovers. An impressive season a couple of years ago, in particular under Ray McKinnon, as Jamie Walker takes a tumble this time. It was Ball's challenge, which looked fairly innocuous. Aberdeen free kick. Shinnie who went down there. But the Hearts supporters feeling aggrieved because they reckon they should have had a penalty here. Here's Berra. Well, that's Randall, who kind of came from nowhere. It's a poor cutback. Could have done better with that one. There's Christie away from Gila. Don Cowie coming back to try and help out. Ryan Christie's away from both of them. And eventually it's Cowie's foul, and it's an Aberdeen free kick just outside the box. It was just outside. Ryan Christie felt it was inside. Now what can Aberdeen conjure up here? It's Christie. Breaks back to Ball. And it might be a case of wrong man, right place. There would have been some impact for Dominic Ball. Scott Wright scored that fabulous goal last time out against Partick Thistle, though he won't want to see that back. Aberdeen have won the last three meetings between these two. It's the first time that's happened since 92-93. It's a great ball that by Arnaud Djoum for Randall. And then Shea Logan with the foul, and Craig Thompson gives the free kick in a really positive area for Hearts. It was the poor first touch from Logan that led to the late challenge. It's Jamie Walker. That's a decisive save by Joe Lewis, right in front of the 7,000 or so Aberdeen supporters. It's the first real shot in anger from the hosts. Hearts' 7th competitive outing here at Murrayfield. Has been their temporary home before. European ties though. This is Isma Gonçalves! And there's Lewis again! And that save's even better. Gonçalves felt he was scoring here. He thought it was in. Joe Lewis proving his worth yet again for Aberdeen. Hearts corner though, it's their best spell of the match. That's Gonçalves. And Berra was looking for a rebound, having scored his 4th international goal against Malta for Scotland on Monday evening. Ball. Stevie May scored a hat-trick the last time he faced Hearts. May, well, at St Johnstone. It's Kenny McLean. Oh, it was deflected. Don's corner. McLean felt it was worth a pop from there. Came off Callaghan. And McLean's given that away. And Hearts are streaming forward here with Randall. Gonçalves. Jamie Walker is in acres of space. Freedom of Murrayfield. And that is incredible from Lewis. good is this save? It looked goal-bound all the way. Very entertaining first half, this. Shea Logan and McLaughlin with the unorthodox goalkeeping. Tale of two keepers at the moment. That's the first proper save that McLaughlin's had to make. Well, Shinnie and Logan combine. It's going to come back to Hearts here though, and they've started the second half very well indeed. It's the one win so far for them this season. Gonçalves and Callahan denied by Lewis. The latest to be denied by Lewis. Oh, he's a Hearts fan, Ross Callahan. He's living the dream this afternoon in the maroon. Only half clear. Oh, and Lewis turns it past. It's the Joe Lewis show. He's standing between Hearts and 3 points at the moment. Walker's effort. Oh, ball wanted way too long on that. And Walker's found Isma Gonçalves. He's going all the way himself. And this time it's the woodwork. The face says it all. A frustrating afternoon for the Portuguese and his Jambos teammates. They scored Hearts' only goal against Aberdeen last season. They came so close there.
Disappointing for the players. I thought that the effort they put into the game, the amount of chances we had, and we hit the target on a huge number of occasions, and as I say, Joe Lewis was in fantastic form. So again, I've got to give credit to Aberdeen. You know, they held firm, they defended well, and then when we did get opportunities, their goalkeeper was excellent. So yeah, mixed emotions just now.
I've said often enough, Hearts are a good team. They've got good players, you know, and I think that what we asked for the second half, to play in the wider areas a bit more, and not give Hearts encouragement. I thought Hearts kind of came after us a wee bit quicker than they did first half, and they got a wee bit of success because of that. You know, obviously they hit the bar and had a couple of chances. They were a better team second half, clearly, and we are looking a wee bit more vulnerable at set plays again. We're trying to get a bit more height on the team because Hearts get bigger and bigger as the game went on, and you know, I think in the balance of play, I think we've deserved our point, but the way the game was going, they looked more likely to win it and end up.
Well, Stephen Thompson will gush praise for Joe Lewis very soon. But Michael, this was branded the match of the weekend. The novelty factor at Murrayfield, of course, it ended 0-0. We'll get through all of the factors of the match. Decent start for Aberdeen, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a decent start. I mean, there's no doubt that the earlier part of the game that Aberdeen were the better team. They played an unorthodox back three, you see here. Shea Logan, a right centre half, he's not. He's an attacking fullback. Ryan Christie plays off the wing, out to in. And it dragged Hearts all over the place at the early part of the game. Look at the space for Kenny McLean to go and attack here. And Stevie May, look at him, wonderful drop of the shoulder and spinning behind. And look, this is a penalty and a red card inside the first minute. Could have changed the game completely. Again, the space for Aberdeen to go and attack in the wide areas in particular. Scott Wright was causing all sorts of problems in between the right wing back and right centre half John Suter. He eventually sniffs it out. But the whole game in the first half in particular, first half an hour, was played up in Hearts' half. They won the second balls in the middle. Aberdeen were the first on to everything. Look at the space Shinnie's got here to go and attack that back line. I think he could have taken an extra touch before he slipped in Ryan Christie. But those second balls were all won by Aberdeen in the first half. Second half, completely different story, where Hearts were the team on the ascendancy.
Would you say that overall then, Hearts were the better team?
No, of course, there's no question about that. But look at this unorthodox back three. There's Shea Logan out there, the two centre halves. Here's where a left back should have been. And I think they should have reverted to a back four in the second half. There would have been the out ball. Instead, he thumps it up the park, and they couldn't get control of the ball. And Hearts really, as you heard Derek McInnes, got after them. Look at that, 5 players in the middle of the park, snapping, winning the ball, countering on them, and they did this right throughout the second half. Again, look, Hearts pressing Aberdeen. This is where the left back would have been. Look at the space that that left back would have. Another good out ball. Scott Wright eventually would have been further up the park, forcing Hearts further up. Instead, he's forced infield Andrew Constantine, and it allowed Hearts again to force and dictate the pattern of the second half. Dominic Ball was playing defensive midfield. He's not a ball player. He's in there for the defensive side of things, and it allowed Hearts to put on the real pressure. Look at Andrew Considine here. That's where he would be out there as a left back. Instead, he's in the central area. He doesn't know whether to cover the outside or the inside, and Ismael Gonçalves gets in, and he was really unlucky.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, apart from the first half an hour where Aberdeen were dominant, and it meant that the game was played in Hearts' half, Hearts came in the ascendancy, and they forced Aberdeen back, and that back line of Aberdeen was all over the place, and they didn't really know what to do, and Hearts were, apart from Joe Lewis, Hearts would have won that game comfortably.
We'll get to Joe Lewis in a second. We all know you've been critical of Craig Levein in the director of football role. Back in the dugout, how good a debut, another debut for Craig Levein as Hearts manager was this?
If one of those opportunities had gone in, it would have been the perfect start for Craig Levein. A huge difference. The intensity of Hearts play was dramatically different from anything we've seen in a long while, and it's a good start. There's no question of that. It's building the foundations for the club moving forward. Stephen, there's no other way of putting this, but you love Joe Lewis, don't you?
Been telling you guys for years he's the best goalkeeper in Scottish football, and now you're starting to believe me. No, he was absolutely magnificent yesterday. This is a comfortable save from him, one you'd expect him to make, but he pushes it out of danger's way. But he had probably 7 or 8 top-class saves. This might be the pick of the bunch, getting down low for such a big man to show the agility to get down there. This reminds me of the Scott Sinclair one against Celtic up at Pittodrie. It's an unbelievable save. Jamie Walker can't believe it's not going in, because as soon as he hits that, he thinks it's going in the top bin. Again, this is another top class save. Good play from Ismael Gonçalves, point blank, and he manages to get his hand up. And there's no doubt he was the difference between Hearts getting all 3 points yesterday.
Yeah, Aberdeen didn't play that well. They're still top of the table, albeit on goal difference from Celtic. Michael, you were at Murrayfield yesterday. What was the Murrayfield factor like? I saw you suggesting we should be dumping Hampden in favour of Murrayfield. Is that right?
No, I asked the question, Jonathan. I mean, I thought it was really good. You know, considering you're talking about 25,000 roughly that were there, and the stadium holds almost 70. I thought the atmosphere was pretty good. I mean, look, there's still a question of whether the main stand's too far away from the park. But
it looked good. It looked good on the telly, I have to say.
From where we were at the stadium as well, I thought it was a very good game. And I thought the stadium...
he just wants it switched from Hampden because it's 2 minutes from his house.
Exactly.
That's it.
I thought the stadium hosted the game very well.
Great stuff. Next.